Everybody hates Chris except for Miss Morello. Was she racist? I don't know, bro. Miss Morello was racist as hell. If y'all seen that show, bro, y'all want to cancel it, bro. If that show happened in 2025, bro, she would probably be canceled. And she's just playing a character, bro. She's just playing a character. But anyways, let's see what this video got for a 16-minute video. Let's get straight to it.
Baby, the mother's a little delusional. Her brain
She was racist, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Her character, not her as a person.
She's actually convinced herself that she has a husband who works 2 jobs and that they own a house in the ghetto. I can't believe a word she says.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
At this point, all of you know who Chris is in the show, so let's skip to the teacher. I heard all your cries for me to Miss Morello. I broke down Rochelle, the mama, Tanya, the annoying brat daughter. Let's discuss quite possibly the questionable, funniest character on the show. Among its colorful cast of characters, few stand out quite like Miss Vivian Morello, Chris's well-meaning but painfully ignorant teacher at Corleone Junior High School. Her character is a complex, contradictory figure. Someone who
ignorant as hell,
doing good, yet constantly reinforces racist stereotypes. Miss Morello serves not only as a reoccurring comedic presence, but also as a satirical symbol of the misguided, unintentionally racist ally.
Inga, binga, binga, boonga. Chris, what tribe are you from?
I don't know.
know why nobody's watching your YouTube video.
It's not because your
bro, this show is golden, bro.
Because you can't.
Show so golden, bro.
On the surface, Miss Morello is portrayed as a kind-hearted and supportive teacher, like she be going above and beyond for Chris. She routinely tries to show encouragement to Chris, often offering advice, giving him special attention, or going out of her way to help him with school matters. She speaks in a warm tone, smiles often, and seems to take genuine interest in Chris's future. In her mind, she is one of the good ones, a person trying to uplift a disadvantaged student. However, this is precisely where the satire begins. Her attempts to be supportive are filtered through a lens of racial bias and stereotypes. While her tone is friendly, her comments are often tone-deaf, patronizing, and based on flawed assumptions about Black culture and identity.
I'd like all book reports to be on books that were made into movies.
Are you high? I'm asking.
Are you high is crazy, bro. Bro.
Miss Morello is not an overt racist.
Look at this book, bro.
What I mean in the traditional sense, because when you think of a racist person, you think of someone in your face, whole body language screams hate. You feel the negative energy
bro.
off of them.
Her racism was subtle, bro. It was like on some like
but with Miss Morello,
slick ass shit, bro.
Express hatred or malice. Rather, her racism is, dare I say, unintentional, paternalistic, and rooted in ignorance. She believes she understands Black people, but her understanding is entirely based on media stereotypes, societal myths, and fetishized representations. Listen to me. The number of times she was thirsting after a Black man is crazy. I mean, I don't blame her.
That's the confusing part. She be racist towards Chris, right? But then she loved Black men. What the fuck?
What's that old saying? Once you go black, you never come back? But nah, in all seriousness, where did that phrase come from? Because for the life of me, I'm trying to find the origins of that sentence, and I got nothing but Urban Dictionary. She frequently assumes that Chris comes from a broken home, that his mother is a crack addict. Not Rochelle on drugs. That he is involved in criminal activity, or that he has a dozen siblings.
Thank you, Chris. It's hard because I don't have 19 or 20 other siblings like you.
You see the comments she made, bro?
The ongoing joke throughout the show is that Mr. Morello believes Chris doesn't have a father.
I have a father.
Oh, I know, Chris. If only your mom knew his name.
even more
Like, bro.
amazing is that these statements are not delivered with spite, but with a twisted form of sympathy. The comedy lies in how sincere and clueless she is. When Chris tries to correct her, she often assumes he is lying, sometimes claiming he's on drugs, because his real life doesn't match the narrative she's convinced herself of. This reflects a form of soft racism, a set of biases that masquerade as empathy but actually reinforce damaging ideas. Miss Morello doesn't know that she's racist because she believes being kind and interested in black culture is enough to absolve her of any prejudice. She is in fact the very model of the well-meaning but racially ignorant person who often does more harm than good. Adding another layer to her character is the show's running joke that Miss Morello has a different black boyfriend or is interested in one in nearly every episode. She frequently references them
she even went for the Jamaicans.
Sexual, exaggerated terms, clearly fantasizing about them rather than engaging in meaningful relationships. This is not just a throwaway gag, it's part of the satirical commentary on people who sexualize black bodies while still holding on to deeply racist beliefs.
That shit is so confusing, bro.
Read about the real black men who walk the gritty streets of the hood. People like Superfly, the Mac, Black Belt Jones, Truck Turner, and Blackula.
Who the hell is Blackula?
Oh, that's an actual person?
Well, gosh, no wonder
It's
I
a
know
character?
who Blackula is. This movie came out in 1972.
53
Bloodsucker,
years ago,
deadlier
bro.
than Dracula. Listen, I'm a late 90s baby. I'm literally the last of the 90s babies. Apparently, this movie is about an 18th century African prince is transformed into a vampire by Count Dracula, cursed with the name Blackula.
You shall be Blackula. Blackula.
They really couldn't came up with anything else, huh? And entombed in Dracula's
Blackula.
castle after he fails to convince the Count to support him in his cause to end the slave trade. Damn, Drac, you didn't free slaves? 200 years
Nigga
later,
tired as hell,
a pair
ain't
of
it?
gay interior decorators transport his coffin to LA, where he awakens with an unquenchable thirst for human blood. As
Bro.
Blackula pursues a woman who resembles
Them movies in the 70s looked terrible. Terrible production. Terrible everything. Terrible acting.
long dead wife Luva, did I say that right? Luva, her brother-in-law, a pathologist, investigate the string of carnage that follows in the vampire's wake. Wait, why does this movie sound so good to watch all of a sudden?
A few moments later.
More horrifying than Dracula.
If there's one thing
laughing?
y'all should know about me, I love bad movies. For example, Sharknado, Killer Sofa, and all-time favorite, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. They'll beat you, mash you, squish you, mash you, chew you up for brunch, and finish you off for dinner or lunch.
I am so sorry about that. Let me get back to Miss Morello. I got distracted so easily. Miss Morello's obsession with black men, combined with her assumptions about Chris's background, makes her an example of how attraction or interest in another race does not equate to respect or understanding. This adds depth to her character. She thinks her dating history makes her culturally aware, when in fact it only highlights her shallow engagement with race. Chris Rock's adult narration is essential in exposing Miss Morello's ignorance to the audience. While Chris the character often tolerates her behavior with silent resignation, Rock's voiceover provides biting sarcasm, frustration, and humor. His commentary flips the narrative, ensuring that the audience sees Miss Morello not as a savior figure, but as a source of ironic satirical comedy. Every time Miss Morello says something outlandish, like assuming Chris's father is absent or that his mother is
Oh yeah, y'all remember that episode? She gave that nigga a brown egg, bro. Get everybody else a regular egg. Get my nigga Chris a brown egg.
Source
Man.
of ironic satirical comedy. Every time Miss Morello says something outlandish, like assuming Chris's
Look at that
father...
shit. That shit right there was a brown egg, bro. Like,
is absent or that his mother is a crackhead. Now listen, as many faults as Rochelle has, we are not going to call her a crackhead. Rock's narration deflates her false confidence and highlights how out of touch she truly is. This narrative device ensures that she is the butt of the joke, not Chris.
The violence, all set to a jazzy beat.
Oh, there's a jazzy beat I want to give her.
Miss Morello is not just a character for laughs. She is a satirical critique of a specific type of person in American society.
You want to know who else is racist?
Satirical critique of
that motherfucker right there. This nigga right here, man. Even though he was playing a character, I never wanted to beat up somebody so fucking bad, bro. Watching this shit.
A specific type of person in American society.
That nigga used to piss me off every episode, and Chris can't do nothing.
Inclusive and helpful, but hasn't done the work to truly understand racial issues. Instead of listening, learning, or challenging her beliefs, she defaults to the stereotypes she absorbed over time. She is a warning about what happens when people assume that good intentions are enough. The humor in Miss Morello is sharp because it's uncomfortable. It forces viewers to confront the idea that you can be nice
and Chris was patient, bro. How many of y'all would have crashed out, bro?
I mean, it's basically the
then
same
on top of that, his parents set him up, bro. Why y'all send this man to an all-white school, bro? Y'all said this man, and then it looked like they said the show was during like supposed to be in the 70s. Why y'all do that to that man, bro?
A serial killer, you could be a total sweetheart and murder somebody and chop up their body parts. You can still like someone from another race and still dehumanize them with stereotypes. You can want to be helpful while causing harm. There are several moments in Everybody Hates Chris that made us all collectively give a massive
bombastic
side-eye,
criminal offensive side-eye, bombastic side-eye, criminal offensive side-eye.
One that stands out is the episode Everybody Hates Funerals. Chris's grandfather literally dies at the kitchen table.
Oh, Sharkation! Oh my god! Sharkation!
And later at school, he's quietly telling Greg about it. Miss Morello overhears and demands that Chris share what he's talking about with the whole class. When Chris explains,
my grandfather died.
Chris, that's not funny. What are you gonna do when your grandfather dies for real?
He's telling the truth.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an AI, but I'm here to talk.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Oh, Chris.
Wait. You believe him?
Of course.
Why? It's crazy how she instantly believes Greg over Chris.
Because he's a Caucasian male.
Chris have to lie about something like that. The wild part is, if Chris were the manipulative type, he could have easily used Greg to get away with so much more, simply because Miss Morello trusts Greg by default. Another side-eye moment, when Chris wants to attend the Bronx Academy of Science with Greg, Miss Morello's reaction is basically, boy, be so for real, stop being the Lulu. She agrees to help him apply, but not without that heavy skepticism. Chris passed the standard review, but now he has to go through a home interview. During that interview, the questions that Rochelle is asked are insane. The interviewer goes,
"How long have you been addicted to heroin? And you've struggled with drugs and alcohol most of your adult life? You have 3 children, right?"
Yes.
Can I have their father's names?
Plural.
Their father's names.
More than one.
Bro, what the
Rochelle
fuck?
is stunned. She says she's never done drugs, never had a drinking problem, and that her children all have the same father. The interviewer, still suspicious, asks,
"Do you know his name?"
Stop the motherfucking music. You. Are you dumb?
Rochelle loses it, and understandably so. She demands to know where all this misinformation
I would have
is
crashed
coming
out
from.
too.
Miss Morello?
Miss Morello told the interviewer that Chris is a crack baby, that Rochelle is delusional and addicted to several substances, believes she has a husband with 2 jobs, and that the family has a house in the ghetto. She said all of that with a polite, genuine smile while drinking chocolate milk.
I like chocolate milk.
Drinking chocolate milk.
Can I have some chocolate milk? Can I have some chocolate milk? I like chocolate milk. Yeah.
I'm sure sure that chocolate milk tastes real good. She acting all perky like she didn't just destroy this family's entire reputation. And here's the gag. Chris finally gets accepted to the Bronx Academy, but
here she go in the back.
denied because as it turns out, Chris does have a father who works 2 jobs, and his mother isn't a drug addict, and Miss Morello has the nerve to say,
Chris, why did you lie?
Hell. Go to hell.
go there.
Go
Immediately.
Straight.
She's literally testing my patience. Is she being so serious right now? Not once has Chris ever spoken negatively about his family. That was you and your mental image of black people. Miss Morello is so locked in with these stereotypes about black people that even hard facts can't shake them. When Rochelle, a well-spoken professional black woman, says her husband has 2 jobs, Miss Morello still insists she must be lying because in Miss Morello's world, a stable black family contradicts what she knows to be true. This is the core of Miss Morello's character. She's polite, nurturing, even affectionate towards Chris, but her worldview is fundamentally racist. Now listen, she doesn't hate Chris. Not at all. I say out of everyone in the entirety of the show, she is the one character who doesn't hate Chris, but she does pity him. That pity is rooted in the belief that he is lesser, and that is what makes her character such an important piece of the show's satire. The humor hits because it's so absurd, but not unrealistic. These scenes aren't just exaggerated comedy, they're reflections of real-life microaggressions and systematic bias. Teachers like Miss Morello exist. People in
hell yeah, they exist.
Often sincerely think,
especially if you go to like the one of them like all white schools. Yeah.
While reinforcing racial stereotypes, questioning black intelligence, and assuming dysfunction.
It definitely exists, bro.
The character represents those who remain stuck in their biases because they never confront them. They simply assume their empathy protects them from criticism. This also enhances the show's realism. In real life, not everyone has a redemption arc. Some people remain ignorant because their worldview is too comfortable to challenge. Miss Morello is a comedic exaggeration of that person.
Chris, after looking at
Chris
your
has
test
too much
results,
patience,
I'm
but
very concerned.
I've been getting my ass whooped for 2 years and now she's concerned?
Miss Morello's character is a masterclass of satirical writing, balancing absurd humor with sharp cultural critique. She's funny because she's so wrong, yet so convinced she's right. She's frustrating because she means well, but never realizes the harm she causes. She's nice, but being nice isn't the same as being good. In the show,
bro, look at her eyes, bro. She's looking at this man dead in his soul like these.
Through humor, Miss Morello stands out as a character who makes the audience laugh while also making them think. Her existence in the show reminds us that racism isn't always aggressive or hateful. It's often subtle,
and you know what's crazy?
And carried out.
We in fucking 2025. And racism still exists, bro. But anyways, it look like that's the end of the video. Yeah, that's the end of the video. But anyways, if y'all enjoyed that video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And I'm out, bro.